This winter, I want you to look modern, chic, and sophisticated, so we are going over some winter fashion styles that feel a little stale, a little outdated, and the hot new trends that you should be looking out for instead. Let's get into it. Leggings are that cozy winter staple that we always seem to reach for year after year, but this season I want to make sure that you're staying away from those faux leather leggings. Faux leather leggings had such a big moment just a few seasons ago, wearing them with big oversized chunky sweaters and big chunky boots as well. But wearing them today feels a little dated and a little try-hard, especially those super shiny PVC type of leggings that feel more like a Miami club night out rather than an everyday chic type of item. And with that thin, tight, clingy material, I just felt like it showed every single lump and bump, and every VPL was totally on show. Instead, what feels very in right now is trading out those faux leather leggings for corduroy and velvet. You still get that texture and visual interest, but this feels a little more sophisticated and elevated. We're seeing these luxe winter-friendly fabrics in all sorts of silhouettes, from straight leg to barrel to wide leg and slim. And of course, take your pick between mid-rise and high-rise, and I guess there's some low-rise options there as well. You can find these winter favorites in the richest of tones for the season, from your dark espresso browns to your medium chocolates to your rich burgundies and even olive green. With these rich textures and gorgeous colors, all you need is a fitted tank, an ankle bootie, and you are good to go. Corduroy gives you that cozy, casual vibe, a little bit of a 70s retro feel, whereas velvet feels a little dressier, definitely a little more holiday appropriate. I think both of these options definitely give a little bit of comfort and also a little bit of polish, and I definitely think they are far more sophisticated than those faux leather leggings. Set those aside and go for these textures instead. Next up, what's out for winter, and you might have this in your closet already. You might be tempted to reach for it this winter season because you're looking for something big and bulky and something easy to get you through those harsh winters, something to perhaps navigate through snow, and those are the chunky dad sneakers, but I urge you to please refrain from using them as a fashion item and stick to wearing them in the gym. I think they're bulky, they're shapeless, they do nothing for an outfit. I don't think they provide any bit of polish or sophistication, so please just save them for your workout. Now, what feels really in, current, very relevant, and very sophisticated for this winter season and for several seasons now is that sleek, low-profile, retro-style type of sneaker. And speaking of a sleek sneaker, this is the Yancey. This is what VIVAIA calls their sneakerina, and it really does feel like a feather-light blend of a ballerina flat and that nostalgic 70s sneaker. It's wrapped in this lightly padded re-nylon, so it has that sculpted silhouette, but the frame is still ultra slim and sleek. On the foot, it's one of those shoes you barely feel. It has a quiet arch support and this gentle rebound when you walk, so it moves with you instead of fighting with your foot. Even if you have slightly wider feet like mine, Yancey makes your foot look slim and sleek because of the way it hugs without feeling tight. This is the kind of sneaker I gravitate to on those casual but polished days. I love wearing them for travel days, running errands, and I think they're great for anyone who wants a super flexible and easy to pack type of sneaker that still looks really polished and more chic than an athletic sneaker. You get that high-end luxury sneaker look, but with a lot more comfort and a much friendlier price. I totally see why it's one of their most celebrity-favored styles lately. I have partnered with VIVAIA for this portion of today's video. VIVAIA is running their Black Friday sale right now. With my code, the more you buy, the more you save. And I have two more of VIVAIA's bestsellers to share with you. Next is Francesca, which is VIVAIA's platform loafer. It's inspired by the classic penny loafer, so you're still getting that traditional strapping detail and the rounded toe silhouette, but VIVAIA has built it on this trendy, slip-resistant raised outsole. The chunky sole is not exaggerated and it still feels quite traditional, but it subtly elongates your proportions and gives you a taller, sleeker look, but still feels really stable. I love that it has that preppy collegiate feel. You can wear it with trousers to the office, with denim on the weekend, and it's a classic loafer that always looks polished and never out of place. The stretchy upper actually hugs your foot, so there's no stiff break-in period, and it's easy to maintain. Inside, you've got that cushioned honeycomb style support that hits different areas of the foot, soft but stable and breathable. It's one of those throw it on and your outfit instantly looks finished kind of shoe. It's no wonder this is one of their best-selling options. And then for a dressier option, this is the Regina Pro, which is basically a combination of elegance and ease. This is a refined block-heeled boot with a sculpted heel and a timeless knit shaft. The silhouette is really clean and modern, and plus sock booties are having a moment this winter season again. Of course, this dark chocolate brown is one of the hottest colors of the season, but this boot does come in a multitude of other colors, as do all the other shoes I've shown you today. This is the pair that goes from office hours straight to the evening plans without you needing to change your shoes. These are water repellent, which makes them wearable, snow, rain, or shine. The cushioned insole, roomy square toe box, and stretchy shaft give you that structured support and all-day comfort with essentially zero break-in time. And because of that sleek knit upper and polished heel, they're not just practical, they're genuinely beautiful boots that make every outfit look more intentional. So if you like the idea of a heeled boot that feels more stable and everyday wearable, this is one of VIVAIA's dressier bestseller options that they offer. With my code, you can take advantage of VIVAIA's Black Friday sale right now. The discount applies across the entire site, so you can enjoy the shoes I showed you here today or choose from a variety of other options. Flats, sneakers, loafers, boots, you can find something that fits your style. My VIVAIA code, links, and the details of the Black Friday sale are all in the description box below. Thanks to VIVAIA for sponsoring this portion of the video. Next thing that's out for winter are those super short, extra cropped blazers. You know, the ones that come up right at the bra line. They almost feel like a little bolero or shrug. Even with an ultra high waist bottom, your entire belly is on show. I think they look a little junior, and they're just not a relevant style for this season. You can argue that you're still finding them in the stores. As with all of these outdated trends that I'm mentioning today, you can probably still find all of these in some store or another, but that doesn't make them fashionable and it doesn't make them trendy. And this video is all about being in the know of what's current and modern for the season. These choppy cropped type of blazers, I always felt like they're a little hard to pull off. I mean, I feel like they throw off your proportions and it's just really hard to get them right. So let's set those aside for now, and what is really on trend for the season are collarless blazers instead. Think of this as a softer, more modern take on the classic blazer. Without the lapels, you just get this very clean vertical line, and it's very elongating and flattering on the torso. It also minimizes the bulk in that area, and especially in the winter when we're trying to layer up, I think a turtleneck underneath it just looks so sleek and very ladylike. I think with that clean neckline, it gives you more of a canvas to play around with jewelry and scarves. I think they give that gorgeous, polished look without feeling too corporate. A collarless blazer could look stunning with a simple pair of jeans or even dressed up with a plaid or a pleated skirt. You could argue that a collarless blazer also feels a little trend-led and that it's just going to feel dated next season or next year, but I beg to differ. I do think it has a classic essence about it. The collarless blazer is over 100 years old at this point. Chanel first created it back in 1925. At least that's what I read. So I don't think you have to worry too much about this feeling like a trendy piece. Definitely go for a classic streamlined look. You can either go for a straight cut or an hourglass. Both, I think, will really stand the test of time. And it's perfect for refining your winter wardrobe in a more grown-up, elevated sort of way. Next up, let's talk plaids for the winter season, because this year there's definitely a definition between what's out and what's in. Out this year are those neon bright plaids and those highly contrasted, almost 90s grunge looking type of plaids. While the overly bright, colorful plaids and the grungy plaids are definitely two different types of aesthetics, I group them here together because they both come in and out of fashion every so often, but right now I can definitely say that they deserve a place in the back of your closet and not right up front, because they are feeling a little outdated and just not in style. Instead, what feels really in right now when it comes to plaids are those heritage plaids, that English countryside, country, elevated chic aesthetic. Think of traditional tartans and checks that you would see in maybe classic Burberry or Brunello Cucinelli, or even vintage Ralph Lauren. Like right now, everyone is talking about the Ralph Lauren Christmas and that whole vintage plaid aesthetic. It's definitely something I'm looking into for this holiday season. Overall, it's a softer, more wearable color palette. Earthy tones or deep, rich, dark tones. Instead of screaming for attention, they're adding that quiet layer of texture and pattern that feels really elevated elevated and really expensive. I think it's the kind of plaid that instantly makes an outfit feel more refined, definitely more grown up and more sophisticated. Look for some stunning heritage plaids in structured blazers, pleated skirts, even beautiful long line coats. I can easily see a plaid blazer with a light cream turtleneck, dark wash jeans, and an ankle bootie just being a perfect winter formula. Or perhaps a flowy midi skirt with a beautiful heritage plaid, a fitted knit, and some knee-high boots, maybe a gorgeous belt in the middle. I think that would look so chic. And of course, if committing to a large heritage plaid piece is a little too much for you, opt for something small like a scarf. This is a great way to add that traditional element without overwhelming your entire outfit, and also introducing that trend without full-on commitment. Overall, when it comes to plaids, I think a heritage plaid is far more wearable, sustainable, long-living in your closet, as opposed to those neons and grungy versions. Please remember to like and subscribe if you haven't yet already. Okay, for this next one, I think I'm going to go out on a bit of a limb here, and this may be completely wrong, but I'm feeling like the polka dots are already on their way out for the winter season. Now, this was a huge summer trend, and it was slated as being a super big trend going into fall as well. People were going to carry over their polka dots well into fall, and we did see a little bit of it. However, going into the winter season, I'm not seeing polka dots in any of the high streets winter collections, so I'm feeling like it's just not a relevant pattern right now going into the winter season. Maybe it'll pop up again for spring 2026, who knows, but right now I feel like it's on a little bit of a hiatus, and in general, just polka dots don't give me that cozy winter vibe. I don't know about you, but I'm definitely passing over them for this winter. Instead, what's feeling really in and actually quite dominant for this season is the Argyle pattern. This preppy, polished, slightly academic, almost arguably a grandma style of pattern, which I don't really equate it with grandmas, but I've heard it out there. In any case, I think this is a beautiful, classic, and very elevated style to incorporate for the winter season. Very much like the plaid, I would stay away from super bright, cartoonish, comical type of Argyle patterns, and definitely go for something softer, something more refined. Creams, grays, neutral and earthy tones, even a rich, dramatic combination of maybe browns, burgundies, and navy or jewel tones together. I think that would look stunning as well. We're seeing Argyle sweaters, vests, cardigans, big chunky knits, even off-the-shoulder Argyle sweaters. I think they work in a casual setting with some straight-leg jeans and a pair of loafers, with tailored trousers and ankle booties for the office, or maybe even with a slip skirt and knee-high boots for a date night out. I think when done right, the Argyle pattern feels very sophisticated and really elevated and not feeling juvenile or clownish. I think an Argyle is a great way to play with pattern if you're not a pattern-loving type of gal. It has structure, it's geometric, it just doesn't feel too busy, especially when it's in very muted colors. And I think it would definitely play the lead role in your outfit, so keeping the rest of it quite simple is the way to go. So for me, definitely I'm embracing the Argyle versus the polka dot for this winter season. Let me know if you agree, disagree, which one you're leaning towards. Another thing that is out of style for this winter are those huge, oversized, puffy jackets and coats. You know, those coats that basically swallowed you up. I mean, they were dramatic and hot for a minute, but they're bulky, shapeless, and almost a little comical in real life. Now, don't get me wrong, if you live in the coldest of climates, I suppose that those puffy down layers really add that extra warmth, and if you need it for necessity, by all means, hang on to it. But if you were looking to it simply as a trendy item, I just don't think it's really in style right now. Instead, what feels really in right now and just feels so polished and chic are the funnel neck jackets and coats. I think these are a really stylish upgrade and a good alternative because they add warmth, but they also add a lot of style. They also add that dramatic, cool girl aesthetic, that very it girl vibe. I'm not saying it's just for the young ladies. I think definitely us ladies in midlife and beyond can enjoy this look as well, because I just think it is so stylish. We're seeing funnel necks in shorter jackets, in trench coats, mid-length, long length, wool, leather, and suede. From bombers to belted maxi coats, I think you could find a funnel neck style that works for you. I think the funnel neck style works really well with a very clean, minimal aesthetic aesthetic. I definitely think when you put one on, it's the star of the show. With that dramatic neckline, there's no need for a scarf. However, most of them do have that versatility that you could just fold it down as well if you're not in the mood to have it cinched up that high. I'm really loving them because I think they just look so sleek, especially the jacket variations. Wearing them either with jeans or trousers or even a slip skirt, I think it just instantly adds that cool girl factor, and it just looks really effortless, and I really, really love them. Another style that I think is definitely out and is still out for this winter season are the cold shoulder tops and sweaters. You know, the ones with the big cutouts here in the shoulder. I wore them maybe 4 years ago, and I really liked them back then, but they quickly went out, and they've stayed out. Don't get me wrong, I think I've seen them here and there in the stores. They're starting to pop up again, but that doesn't make them relevant, and it doesn't make them trendy for the season. I would definitely stay away from them. I think they're still feeling a little outdated, and they very much like a skinny jean, have not quite made it back into popularity. And for me, I kind of cringe when I see those outfits I wore just a few years ago. I definitely don't think they look polished or high-end. They definitely don't feel sexy or sultry. I would rather just go for a single off-the-shoulder moment or an asymmetrical top in general if I wanted to show a little bit of skin. Instead, what feels really, really in right now, and I'm seeing it all over the high street, and it's definitely a popular item, are the polo neck cardigans. I think these are such a chic upgrade, and they tick all the boxes. They're polished, add a layer of warmth, and I think they're really easy to style. I feel like it gives you a little bit of that quiet luxury slash sporty type of feel, because it's basically a cross between a knit polo and a cardigan. Being that it's a cardigan, I think it has a little bit of versatility. You can definitely wear it on its own as a top. You can wear it unbuttoned with a t-shirt or a turtleneck underneath, maybe with some straight leg jeans and some modern ballet flats. I think it would also look darling opened up with a beautiful lace cami peeking out from underneath. Lace, of course, is continuing to be a super hot trend for the winter season. With a collar, I'd say pull your hair back, wear a pretty earring, just keep it simple in the neckline. For fabrics, look for merino wool, organic cotton, even cashmere. I'm not saying that these types of polo cardigans are overly bulky, so they're definitely a good layering piece, either something underneath it, or you can even layer a blazer over on top of it. And the polo cardigan plays between that casual and polished look, so you can have fun playing around with it. Next thing that's out for this winter are those really chunky, oversized platform boots. You know, those super high stacked heel with a platform bottom. They were oversized, super big. Yes, they made you super tall and very statuesque, but they were really heavy on the foot. I think kind of hard to walk in. And they're definitely feeling a little dated heading into this winter. I'm sure like all the trends, they're gonna come back around eventually, so hang on to them if you have them and enjoy them. But I know, like in my case, there are things that I wore even just 5-6 years ago that I probably wouldn't reach for now, simply because I'm just in a different stage of my life. Instead, this winter season, I'm finding another style of boot to be a little more dramatic and eye-catching, and that's the slouchy boot. I think slouchy boots are just so gorgeous and chic. They have a little nod to that retro 70s, a little boho style, very Chloe, very Isabel Marant. I think that slouchy look just makes them feel so effortless and just such a vibe that just looks like a cool girl. I love their versatility. In most cases, the boots come in a way that you can wear them up to your knee or slouch them down. I think they add a little volume and bulk to the bottom of your leg, so they look great with leggings, not faux leather leggings, fabric leggings. And I also think they look great with mini sweater dresses or skirts. They also come in calf height or ankle height for just a little bit of slouch, and I think those have a really cool look to them as well. They come in beautiful suedes or faux suedes, leathers or faux leathers. They also come in a variety of heel heights, from a little kitten heel to a stiletto to a block heel to even a flat version. Now, I do have to warn you, of course, a slouchy boot does really come in and out of trend, but I think it's a gorgeous style. I think if you stick to a pointed toe, neutral color, with a heel height of your preference, I definitely think they're ones that you could hang on to. Wear them, trend or no trend. If you love them, wear them, right? That's definitely an underlying theme of this channel. But if you're really conscious of what is in and out of fashion, then they're definitely one that you might have to be a little cautious of. So very much like the platform boot being out right now, maybe this time next year or the year after, I'm going to be saying that that the slouchy boot is out of style too. So it's just a chance we have to take. And if you love playing around with shoe trends, I think this is one to really have fun with. I'm going to go out on another limb here and say that this particular jacket style was something that when I started my channel 5 years ago, it was touted as a classic style of jacket and one that would never date, as versatile as white plain sneakers, and that it's a classic wardrobe staple. Everyone's always going to have them and they're never going to go out of style. And that's the moto jacket. Now, I'm definitely not seeing it as a popular style right now. Yes, you can argue it is that classic that goes with anything and everything, especially if you're one that likes to add a little edginess to your outfit. However, I'm just feeling like the moto jacket is just feeling a little out of style, just a little stale, and just doesn't have that modern, fresh essence about it that we're really looking for this winter season, something polished, elevated. And so instead, what I'm really loving for the winter season and what I think is just everywhere and the hottest thing right now is basically any coat or jacket with a fur trim collar. We're seeing beautiful, soft faux fur trim on leather, suedes, wool, from short jackets and bombers to maxi coats and all lengths in between. I just think it's a gorgeous, luxurious, very feminine accent. It feels polished, expensive, especially when it's paired with beautiful leathers and suedes. A fur trimmed jacket or coat is instantly dramatic, instantly eye-catching. I mean, it has a little bit of a 70s vibe. It could also arguably be like an old Hollywood style. I feel like it's a style you could wear out on a coffee run or a style that you could dress up and go out to dinner with. So if you're still looking for a winter coat this season that makes you feel elevated and feminine, luxurious and a little expensive, I think a fur trimmed collar can give you what you're looking for. Remember to check out VIVAIA for their incredible Black Friday deals. My code, the details, and the links are in the description box below. That wraps it up for what's in and out for this winter. Remember, it's not about throwing everything away. It's just about being current and in the know and being knowledgeable about the trends. Take from this video what you like and leave the rest. I'd love to know what pieces you're ready to let go of, meaning just put in the back of your closet, versus what you're looking forward to incorporating into your closet this winter season. Please remember to like and subscribe if you haven't yet already. Check out the newsletter and consider joining the membership. Thank you again so much for being here, and I'll see you very soon in another video. Take care.